This video is brought to you by our new channel, Movie Facts. A link to it is in the description below. Number 1. The Lucasfilm president, Kathleen Kennedy, shared a genuine piece of history with the impatient Star Wars fan army. As soon as both Harrison Ford and Chewbacca set foot in the Millennium Falcon, every single person on the set was speechless. Kennedy swears that there must have been at least 200 people on the set who were completely stunned as a result of the iconic presence of Ford and Chewbacca appearing again after so many light years of pause on Han Solo's ship. What's happening with one more iconic presence missing? Well, one serious rumor has it that in the film, Luke Skywalker disappeared for almost a decade, give or take, after the death of Darth Vader. Apparently, he's been living all by himself on an island, isolating himself completely from society. Why? Well, he fears he could be corrupted somehow and turn to the dark side eventually. Number 2. Are we going to see the old school in the new Star Wars? Of course, but with some modifications and, let's say, age adjustments. It was eventually revealed that both Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill had to go through a vigorous regime of diet, exercise and training in order to prepare for their memorable roles of Leia and Luke. Was all of this necessary? Well, you should ask Harrison Ford, because he knows all about it. Harrison broke his ankle on the very door of his space home, the Millennium Falcon. Can you believe it? To make things worse, the director J.J. Abrams broke his back while trying to rescue Ford in this potentially dangerous situation. Can the Force help you get in shape? Number 3. What about the visual side of our Star Wars story? The first trailer we had a chance to see sparked much discussion about why we had to go back to the so-called grubbiness, which is a nice term to describe dirty transporters, second-hand rockets, things that broke. This was the usual thing to see in the episode 4, quite opposite of the CGI perfection of episodes 1 to 3. British star Phil Jupitus explains why. Actually, he met an effects bloke in Essex. He drinks in my local coffee shop. He said the makers of the new film bought every gas-bottled air gun in England when they arrived because they wanted the stormtroopers' guns to have a kick when they fired them. You don't have to fake it. It looks real. Number 4. We waited for the next episode almost for an eternity, but no one wanted to direct once our wish became a reality. The earlier episodes' directors, Brad Bird and Matthew Vaughn, turned down this unique opportunity. Why? Bird obviously made the wrong turn with the Tomorrowland. On the other side, Vaughn entered negotiations, including a helpful episode of the director's open door for the X-Men Days of Future Past in order to prepare for the episode 7. However, he eventually declined because of the creative differences, which included disputes over the violence level in the film and the choice of the female lead. Even J.J. Abrams didn't want to direct this movie. Abrams' main concern was the vast magnitude of expectations and cultural significance of the movie. By accepting to direct this film, J.J. Abrams became the part of the unbelievable movie history. He's the first director to direct both a Star Trek film and a Star Wars film. In addition, J.J. Abrams is the only director who has directed a Mission Impossible, Star Trek, and Star Wars film. This was a true Mission Impossible indeed. Number 5. New movie, new machines, new designs. The new droid BB-8 was inspired by one of Ralph McQuarrie's first designs for R2-D2. The original idea was simply put aside because it was impossible to make it right in the mid-1970s. In addition, the new version of the X-Wing is actually part of the Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnston earlier design for Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Back then, it just couldn't be used, especially the circular engines that later split into 2 half circles. If you remember, the classic trilogy design comes with 2 cylinders on each side. A new aspect that's been developed for The Force Awakens includes a huge change in that the wings split vertically as well as horizontally. The X-Wing Blue Squadron makes its debut in The Force Awakens. Number 6. Kevin Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch pay a visit to the set. Smith's infamous reputation for his open and talkative nature had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Even that wasn't enough for J.J. Abrams, who had World War II-style propaganda posters all over the movie set, titled "Loose Lips Sink Starships." That was one hell of an efficient reminder not to reveal spoilers to the film to the public. Number 7. As soon as it's been released, the second teaser trailer had more than 20 million views on YouTube in less than 1 day. In addition, pre-sale movie ticket selling websites reportedly crashed almost immediately after starting ticket sales. The third trailer, showed during the halftime slot in the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants game, had more than 15.9 million views. On the other side, the original Italian release of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, was scheduled for January 6, 2016. That's almost 3 weeks after the international release. Or in other words, Italy would be the last country in the world to see it. Walt Disney Pictures Italia is to blame because of its decision to release a new Star Wars film right after the Pixar's movie, The Good Dinosaur. However, Star Wars Italian Fans Army has made a petition with more than 5,000 signatures to Disney Italia's demanding to move the date of release. Walt Disney Pictures Italia decided to do something about it. That is how The Good Dinosaur was pushed to a November release date, while Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, got a new premiere date, which is 2 days before the international release date. Number 8. Larger-than-life situation forced both Mark Hamill and John Boyega to urge director J.J. Abrams allow Star Wars fan Daniel Fleetwood to see the film before it's officially released. Fleetwood had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Unfortunately, he's not expected to live to see the film's official release date. That's how he ended up being the first member of the general public to get an exclusive viewing opportunity of the movie. An online campaign called Force for Daniel got the attention of Disney as well. Disney agreed to provide a special unedited screening to Daniel in his own home. Finally, Daniel even got a call from J.J. Abrams himself before the screening. Number 9. This would be the first film, aside from the animated Clone Wars version, not to open with the recognizable 20th Century Fox fanfare. Star Wars has a long, iconic history with this particular piece of music. At one moment, John Williams re-recorded it specially for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, in 1980. This isn't the only recognizable thing to disappear from The Force Awakens. The teaser trailer doesn't use Episode 7 from the film's title, which is similar to the naming pattern of the original trilogy, from 1977 to 1983. It had been mentioned that Episode 7 will be included in the opening sequence. This movie actually marks the first time in the entire franchise history that the episode number matches the film production and release number. Episode 7 is the 7th Star Wars film. Number 10. With an estimated budget of $200 million, or to be a little more precise, $423 million, including marketing and advertising costs, including making and distribution of home videos, the 7th episode is predicted to be a major box office success. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the film would earn up to $540 million worldwide for its opening, which is going to be a record breaker for the biggest worldwide opening. The throne is currently held by Jurassic World with $524.1 million in June 2015, including one more record for the biggest US opening also achieved by Jurassic World with $208.8 million. It's also believed that The Force Awakens would include the widest release ever, with more than 4,500 theaters in North America. The current record holder in this matter is the Twilight Saga, Eclipse, with 4,468 theaters. On the other side, the numerous box office analysts link this film to Avatar 2009, which opened to $77 million in the USA and went on to earn $2.8 billion worldwide. It comes without saying that The Force Awakens could earn $1 billion without even blinking. Can it cross the magical $2 billion borderline? Let's wait and see. Number 11. One of the first surprises was a new face wearing a stormtrooper uniform with no helmet. Who's John Boyega's Finn? The actor is still trying to keep his role in the film as secretive as possible. As described by Boyega himself, during the Star Wars Celebration panel, his character begins the story finding himself in imminent danger. This fact changes his life completely and launches him into the Star Wars universe in a unique way. That's definitely not enough to go on, but it was confirmed more or less that the character does start the movie as a stormtrooper. There's one more interesting detail. At some point, Finn gets to hold and handle a lightsaber. This is something that got to do with Kylo Ren and the famous raggedy crossguard lightsaber in the scary snow-covered woods. Although, quite a few fans have speculated that he's a Jedi. The most recent rumors we've heard indicate that, as part of their regular training, the First Order Knights, or it's better to say the Stormtroopers, are taught how to use this traditional weapon of the Jedi Knight. We don't know how skillful he becomes with it, but Finn will definitely handle the weapon at some point during the film. To make things even more interesting, this could be Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, the very one he lost at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, which is expected to be the symbolic starting point for The Force Awakens. Number 12. What's the emotional status of Han Solo and Princess Leia? As far as this epic sci-fi romance goes, the relationship between Han Solo and Princess Leia is definitely one of the most intriguing aspects of the new film. Now being regarded as a movie legend, their relationship actually began as an extremely hostile one. Neither of them appreciated the other's temper or energy. but over the course of the 3 sequels, they'd had more than enough time to change this fact a lot. By the time Return of the Jedi hit the movie theaters, these two were openly in love. But what's going to happen with them 30 years later in Star Wars The Force Awakens? So far, we've only seen one heartbreaking shot of them together, where Leia rests her head against his chest. Are they already married? Or did they never quite get to this stage? We'll find out pretty soon. Number 13. What exactly does the movie title mean? The Supreme Leader Snoke speaks in the mysterious ways by revealing that there's been an awakening. Yet, what's this got to do with the actual title of the film? Did the Force, as some kind of entity, actually goes to sleep after the Return of the Jedi ended? Do we need to awake it? Or maybe someone's making use of it for the first time in a long time? With an honourable exception of Attack of the Clones, which didn't actually present any clones to attack us, the Star Wars movies have quite a reputation in having their titles deliver what they promise. Can we expect the same from The Force Awakens? Number 14. The most complicated character in the new movie is definitely Adam Driver's character. Compared to an average villain situation, the director J.J. Abrams has remained annoyingly silent when it comes to sharing details about Adam Driver's character, Kylo Ren. Here's what we need to know about him. Kylo Ren was definitely not his birth name. Just like Darth is a title, so apparently is Ren. He is a character who came to the name Kylo Ren when he joined a group called the Knights of Ren, Abrams explains. The director didn't reveal anything else about the Knight of Ren. If Kylo Ren is not his birth name, maybe his parents are familiar characters from the old series. He is allied with the First Order as a remnant of the Empire. You could see Ren walking shoulder to shoulder with stormtroopers. In addition, he's obsessed with Darth Vader. The movie explains the origins of his mask and where it's from, but the design was meant to be a nod to the Vader mask. Abrams shares with Entertainment Weekly. Ren is well aware of what's come before, and that's very much part of the story of the film. Turns out Ren built Cross lightsaber himself. He doesn't even think of himself as evil. I think that there are 2 sides to the Force. Both sides, arguably, would see themselves as the hero of their story, adds Abrams. Ren is not your prototypical moustache-twirling bad guy. He's a little bit more complex than that, and it was a great joy to work with Adam Driver on this role because he threw himself into it in a deep and remarkable way.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
Number 15. In the movie storyline, the old confronted factions of the Rebellion and the Empire are no longer what they used to be. In their place, we discover the First Order and the Resistance. New fractions have new leaders. The first one seeks to complete the old version of the Empire under the new evil leadership of Supreme Leader Snoke. On the other side, we have the new group that old heroes such as Leia Skywalker and Han Solo lead into battles. It's also the weaponry. The First Order uses a massive super weapon called the Starkiller Base. Where is it? Well, it's located on an ice planet. The status of the Jedi Knights is unknown at this moment, but the dark side has a fraction called the Knights of Ren, which operates within the operation field of the First Order. Behind the movie scenes, there is a new fraction at work. Disney acquired Lucasfilm and the Star Wars property from George Lucas in 2012. The new super producer, Kathleen Kennedy, was now in charge of the Star Wars brand. The director, J.J. Abrams, was picked by Kennedy to direct The Force Awakens. The Disney Force has just awakened. If you're in the mood for more Star Wars facts, check out 25 facts you didn't know about the original Star Wars trilogy on the Movie Facts channel. Thanks for watching.